Chapter 1057, Finale. Germa 66's A. Emotionless Excursion, Volume 16 Caesar's Poison Gas Attack. Chapter begins in an auditorium in the flower capital. We see dozens of citizens sitting in front of a stage, listening a story that the new Wanokani teacher, the man with black hair and glasses that we saw in chapter 1052, is telling. The teacher is next to a geisha who plays the shamisen. The teacher is telling the story as a Japanese poem. He says that under the dark sky of Onigashima the storm thrives, the beast's roar grows louder and the Azura dragon's voice thunders. The rain falls at the Habu port, bathing the autumn leaves. He ends saying that, in order to avenge Kozuki Oden's death, his loyal vassals take the stage. People shouts excitedly red scabbards. The teacher says he hasn't a great verbal talent, but he asks people to allow him the honor of telling this story. A story that starts at the evening of the fire festival. Cut to a forest near Tokage Port in Udon. We see Momonosuke running in dragon form, on top of him are Kinemon and Yamato. Momonosuke and Kinemon are surprised at Yamato's words. Momonosuke, what tilde? You're not going out to the sea? Yamato. Yamato, I'm not going. I've already told Luffy and his crew. Momonosuke is surprised by Yamato's decision and wonders if Yamato is afraid of something, but he quickly says that can't be the case, because Yamato had already made up his mind. Yamato, yes, that's my decision. Oden started his journey by traveling all over this country, right? I don't know anything about the outside world either. So I will follow Oden's same path. And one day I will go out to the sea. Momonosuke gets even angrier when listening to Yamato, because he realizes that Luffy and Yamato talked about all these things but Luffy didn't say goodbye to him. Momonosuke feels that Luffy treated him like a fool and wonders why Luffy is going to leave the country without saying anything. Momonosuke remembers some things of what he has been living since his father died. All are scenes that we have already saw in the manga. The moment when Kaido grabbed him by the neck on top of Oden's castle, chapter 973. The moment when he met Luffy, chapter 685, and when he fought against Luffy and Dressrosa, chapter 701. The moment when they create their alliance in Zou, chapter 819. The moment when Kanjuro kidnapped him, chapter 976, and when he said his name in front of Kaido in Onigashima, chapter 986. And the moment when Luffy asked him to stop Onigashima after fighting Kaido with his adult body, chapter 1026. Back to the present. After all these memories, Momonosuke wonders if Luffy has a heart. Then he says Luffy is a cruel man and that he was wrong about him because he thought Luffy was different. Momonosuke says that Luffy has mistaken rudeness for freedom. Kinemon agrees with him, but asks Momonosuke why he's running instead of flying. Momonosuke tells him to shut up. Kinemon is also very angry and says that he wants to see Luffy's explanation for treating the Shogun like this. Momonosuke says that he thought Luffy and he were friends. Yamato says they shouldn't be so angry. Momonosuke says Luffy embarrassed him. Luffy did something unforgivable, so Momonosuke is going to hit and bite him when he catches Luffy. Cut to Tokage Port in Udon. Luffy, Law and Kid's ships are ready to go. Law tells Luffy that the next time they meet they will be enemies, and he may even go for their lives. Luffy says there's no problem. Chopper says goodbye to Law. Chopper, goodbye to Rao tilde. Law, shut up. Chopper, A tilde. Just before leaving, Momonosuke reaches the coast. He changes to his human form and charges at Luffy along with Yamato. Momonosuke, you tilde. Ha. Ha. Yamato, we are here to see you off. Luffy, Momonosuke tilde Kinemon. Sanji, Yamato-chan tilde. Momonosuke, Luffy tilde. I finally got you tilde. Yamato, Luffy tilde. Luffy, wo tilde. Kinemon draws his sword. He tells Luffy what was he thinking to leave Wanokani without saying goodbye to them after all the time they've been together. He adds the Shogun is furious and wants an explanation. Luffy says it's okay, because they're talking now. Momonosuke glares at Luffy and orders something as the Shogun. Then he cries uncontrollably. Momonosuke, please don't leave. I'll be so lonely. Stay with us forever, Tilda. Don't leave me, Tilda. Thanks to you. We survived. Thanks to you. Now we are able to smile. Thank you for helping me avenge my parents. I'm an idiot, so I can't put it into words. I'm scared of what the future holds. So please, don't go, Tilda. Robin, Sanji and Brook look at Momonosuke smiling. Chopper is moved and Frankie cries like Momonosuke. Zoro laughs and says Momo is a bit embarrassing. Nami is moved too and tells Zoro they can't blame him, because Momo-chan is still a child. Luffy asks Usopp for something, he already has it ready. Luffy gives the present to Momonosuke. Luffy, we've been waiting for you here because I wanted to give you this. What is this attitude for a shogun, Momo? We all know how you are, even if you suddenly become big and strong. You're an idiot and a coward. But you are like a little brother to me. Momonosuke opens the gift and realizes that it's a very large Straw Hat Pirate's flag. Luffy keeps talking. Luffy, when you are in a difficult situation, remember your days of adventures in the sea. Put this somewhere in Wano Kuni. If in the future some dangerous guy arrive, show them this. Tell them that if they lay a hand on one of you, it means they want to fight with us. As Luffy says this, we see Luffy close up with all of his Nakamas on the sunny behind him. Momonosuke cries again as he looks at Luffy. Momonosuke, so, I am one of you? Luffy, Kinemon, Yamato, Momo. I will come for any of you if you ever decide that you want to be a pirate. But I don't accept cowards. I leave everything in your hands now, Yamato. Yamato, sure. Kinemon laughs listening to Luffy. Yamato is very excited with Luffy's words and Momonosuke thanks Luffy for his words. Luffy orders to set off. The rest of the crew say goodbye to Momonosuke. As they watch Straw Hat Crew leaves, Momonosuke tells Kinemon he will surpass Kozuki Oden one day. Kinemon tells him that he shall's witness it happens. Yamato asks Momonosuke if he's talking of surpassing him. Momonosuke says no. Angrily. Already at sea, Luffy, Law and Kid ships are about to leave the Wano Kuni limits. Nami indicates that they must go to Hakamai in order to use the port that can take the ship down. Brook is relieved because they climbed up the dangerous waterfall but now they will go down safely. Chopper is also happy. Kid mocks them when he hears that they are going to use that port because it's more safe. Kid says it's a decision that suits good with losers like them. Luffy and Law get very angry hearing Kid's words. Straw Hat Crew tell Luffy don't fall in Kid's taunts because there is nothing wrong if they use a safe path. Heart Pirates tells Law the same thing. Luffy orders Jinbei to let him take the ship. The crew tell Luffy not to do anything crazy. We finally see how the three ships fall over Wano Kuni waterfalls as Luffy, Law and Kid realize that maybe it wasn't a good idea to go that way. Luffy/Law/Kid, here we go tilde. Everyone, no tilde. We're going to DE. Narrator talks as we see Luffy, Law and Kid's faces. Narrator says that the strength of these criminals, fought by Lord Momonosuke and Kinemon, is nothing to look down at. They wreak havoc with his strength like the real Wisdom King. Even Dragon King Kaido and Great Oiran Yokai couldn't defeat them. And now they leave with a last breath that splits the sky. Cut to the auditorium of Flower Capital again. The teacher continues telling the story. He now talks about Orochi. When they thought he was dead, his hatred made him went for Princess Hiyori. But Denjiro, Kozuki Oden's number 2 vassal, entered the scene with a clean cut. That was the end of Kurozumi Orochi. Lightning thundered fell on them, that way Onigashima and Dragon King Kaido fell too. The dark clouds that covered the skies of Wano Kuni during 20 years, are now slowly clearing away. But something incredible happened. Burning Orochi stared at them and said the hatred of the Kurozumi will curse this country until its bitter end. But Princess Hiyori remembered all the suffering the country has went through for last 20 years. There was not the slightest sign of fear in her eyes. As the teacher narrates the story, we see some panels showing what happened in Onigashima. The teacher continues, saying that Princess Hiyori pushed Denjiro aside and stood fearlessly in front of the burning Orochi. She had in her hand a fan with the symbol of Kozuki which she pointed at Orochi. In her mind were the memories of her father, her mother and her homeland. In a great double page we see citizens shouting that they have been waiting for this part. Teacher asks them to shout all together. Princess Hiyori, dressed as Kamurasaki, speaks to Orochi. Hiyori, the Kurozumi were born to burn. Kurozumi means charcoal in Japanese. Citizens screams as Hiyori cries remembering Oden and Orochi burning alive. Geishas, including Toko, play the shamisen loudly as the teacher says the fire festival continues in remembrance of the story of the successful revenge that began at the port where the reversed crescent moon gathers. The bloody tale of the resurrection of the clan. Narrator, this is the story of how once famous warriors recovered their glory. And they did it just in time. Momonosuke, Kinemon and Yamato go to the Shogun's castle as people greets them. They have a new mission to fulfill. Momonosuke, now where should I put this flag?